My identity was always in the shadow because I allowed other people to tell me who I was. In my day, if you want something, you have to go there and get it. Is your whole life going to be judged on somebody else's opinion of you? Every black kid wanted to be on Soul Train. I wanted to be on Soul Train so bad. Dance? What? That's not a real job. Are you kidding me? You are good enough. I mean, KISS. The simplicity of me is the music. That's just it. Hi, I'm Archie Burnett, and this is Behind the Scene. Kids have to understand that your journey is your own.
I was raw power.
He wanted to enroll me in football, and Mum was like, I don't think that that's what this child is meant to do.
I think if you can't be yourself in a space, it's tricky and it's hard.
I discovered who I was, and I was going to own that position. You have to, otherwise they're going to cancel the waacking category and then waacking will die. Next question.
I am first generation West Indian American. Came to the United States, I'll say 1960. Well, I have one sibling brother. I had a half sister. She passed away. Basically, I was brought up in a very strict household, um, not down in anybody's religion or anything, but that was a chokehold on my mom, and not necessarily my dad, but my mom, and obviously, she felt she had to, I guess, fulfill what she expected. We clashed a lot because, when you have a calling, you have a calling. You just can't ignore it. So my calling was music. People see me around the world as Archie the dancer, Vogue, whacker, blah, 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 blah. It's the music. For me, it's never the dance, it's the music. So it's because, I'll tell you what, it's the one thing that will not betray you. It won't turn on you. It doesn't lie to you. It's the thing that's constant. And no matter how much you change physically in your life, music will always be there. Not many people know this, but my first talent was art. Yes, I'm an illustrator. And I went to School of Visual Arts in New York City to study art. Coming from a West Indian background, the whole idea, you come to the country, make money, gotta make money. So, to make my mom happy, I arbitrarily, because I said, well, what am I going to do to make money? Okay, well, architects make money. I'll study architecture. Arbitrarily like that. Did that in CCNY for maybe 2 years and realized that I was more interested in using the tools to create the image of the house and all of that stuff instead of the passion for building things. I mean, I can appreciate the beauty, but it took a little time to really fine-tune what my voice was because, my mother was a very strong woman. And it was her way or the highway, right? So my identity of who Archie was was always in the shadow because, I allowed other people to tell me who I was. So I didn't really like myself when I was 12 because, I wanted to be somebody else. The world is showing you something else, so I wanted to be something else because I was already tall, so I couldn't not stand out. And my mom used to dress me in beiges and grays. But I think it's because, when you come to a new country, you just blend in, don't stand out, don't make noise, we're going to do the American thing. Just, because they were told that this country, meaning America, the streets were paved with gold. But America has its own bag of drama when it comes to equal opportunity. My mother was a seamstress, right? So I remember, that's another thing I sew because of her. She didn't want me to sew, but she said, Archie, will you leave school and become tailor? No! Because in America, in the Jewish area, there were a lot of tailors and so on. And, they had machines in machine shops. I'll never forget it. She went into a machine shop and she was looking at the machine. And the guy was Hasidic. Hey, guys, no shade on Hasids. I'm just telling you what went down. So there was this Hasidic guy. The guy came in and my mother was looking at this machine. He runs over there and says, oh, no. That's too expensive. Go over here. My mother went off. What? It's because I'm black you say I can't buy that? You know what? And I buy nothing in this stuff. And she walked out. And I was like, wow. That's the first time I really saw, I guess, I can't really say racism, but I will say how somebody assumes something just on the fact of, well, maybe I don't think this person doesn't look like they have money enough to go ahead and do that. A person could call that racism. Hey, I could call that, prejudice. So, that's the first time I saw that involving her. And I thought, wow. Because as a kid, you're kind of blind to this stuff until it first happens to you. Then when it first happens to you, you never forget, Unfortunately, I came up in a time where if people weren't feeling you, they would try to show that, non-acceptance physically. So, it's like a rite of passage. Every male, even female, every male or female that's not living in the popular skin tone, you have to be able to defend yourself. Because if you didn't defend yourself, you'd be a victim. And that's messed up because in my lifetime, I would love to as I'll say my mother's Bible says, live and let live. Well, people don't do that. It's not a real human thing. It's an idea that should be done, but you got to be prepared when somebody's not feeling that, So that side of my life, is in the background, but it's always there. Always there. Because, let's be honest, people are unpredictable and sometimes even stupid. But on the other side of the coin, they can be really beautiful and fulfilling. Ergo, that's why dance has been the thing that has fulfilled my life. I've never had any of that world's issues when it comes to me shaking my ass. I really didn't have any dreams, to be honest. I remember 14, seeing Soul Train, and that changed my life. Before Soul Train was American Bandstand. But yeah, Soul Train came on Saturdays. And the way the Seventh-day Adventists believe, just like the Jews believe, that, well, that's the seventh day of the week, so that's the Sabbath. And church was like an all-day thing. I'm not having it. Sitting there, everybody with their perfume, you can't barely smell the air, and you're sitting there waiting, going, oh man, but I have to be there because my mom, she sings in the choir, and I'm going, oh man, I can't wait to get out of here. But as I got older, this is the weirdest thing. As I got older, I realized church for her is like the club for me. So only way I would go to church is if I went with her. So I could see her in her full glory, smiling and singing and believing what she believes and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, that's cool. She could never see my side, but I could see her side. With that being said, I think that was the beginning of, I guess, my life reality check. Because when you try to live through somebody else's lens, it doesn't necessarily work for you. But you don't know that, With kids have to understand that your journey is your own. All your parents want you is to be happy, healthy, not want for anything, but they don't necessarily understand your journey or your path choices. Well, it's not for them, it's for you. The hardest thing you're going to have to do is listen to your own voice. I've learned that with that kind of upbringing in the things that happen in the household, that you can compartmentalize. And I think that's when kids learn how to compartmentalize, because I had to. Once I found the underground, it was a wrap. Oh my God. Now, mind you, I wasn't allowed to dance, so I'm looking at television, getting moves from TV, and we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Instagram. So what we see in a blink of an eye, we had to try to catch. So you're catching an impression. You're not necessarily catching the full dance, but you're catching an impression. If that's all you have, that's what you work with. I correlate that with a lot of these kids who don't have access to traveling and look at YouTube. When you see this much, you're trying to build off of this much, but there is so much more behind. So this impression is not necessarily, and often isn't, what the thing is that you're looking at, that you want to emulate or that you want to repeat. So television was like that for me. So here I am, learning whatever moves, vibing, on the sneak, because my mom didn't want me to do that. And then when I was able to be, I guess, legal to go to a club, New York has its own vibe. So here it is, I'm dancing with the vibe that I grew up with from television, which turned out to be a Californian flavor. And I come to a New York club, and I'm dancing big and all of that. Everybody's looking at me weird. I didn't know why, It took me a while to figure out, oh, I get it. It's like I was misplaced. But this is the thing that I said about dance DNA. Everything that you grow up with becomes part of your dance DNA. So now I take this impression of what they were doing on Soul Train, and here's another funny thing about that. So as I get older, I meet a lot of the people that were on Soul Train. So I asked them, what is this step? Because I do the step, it's part of my DNA now. Here's the biggest joke. They said, Archie, we just made that up on the spot just to put like an 8 count on when the camera hits us, where the red light hits. Here is the thing that I want to tell you. Impressions. When you see something and you think it's something else that has nothing to do with its origin, it morphs into this whole other thing. The people that told me that they just made it up like that, I'm thinking, oh, wait, it doesn't have a name? No, we just threw that together because that was the vibe of the time. It gives you a certain methodology in movement that's synergistic with the era. But to some kid that's watching it, seeing a positive representation of black people on TV, and to be honest, in the 70s, we didn't have many positive images. We had like either you were a maid or you were the guys that were in the broken down neighborhoods, and you were the pimp selling drugs, and there weren't many. There weren't many. So for a young kid watching Soul Train, and I was into music, I'm like, oh, this is great. Every black kid wanted to be on Soul Train. I wanted to be on Soul Train so bad. But, you know, my mother had that deathlock grip, man. She would never let her kids go anywhere. School, home. School, home. I worked 3 jobs. Yeah. Oh, man, you know, but should I leave school and, you know, and just focus on dance alone? I said, listen, you're young. The most you're going to have to lose is sleep, and you'll have enough time to sleep when you're dead. I worked 3 jobs. One job for 28 years, the other one for 27 years, and the third one, which was slick. I can do this now because I'm retired, I can say it. So what I did was I had Sunday and Monday off. I worked for New York City Transit. I had Sunday, Monday off. I worked my holidays, and I saved about maybe 25 of them, right? So what I did was my regular days off are Sunday and Monday. So I said, I'll take off 2 days, Friday and Saturday. My job was in Queens. I had the 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift. In Queens, the airport is right there. So I would have a friend drop me off at the airport after work because it was 3 o'clock. Most of the European flights go on from 5:30 on, like 5:30, 6, they leave Queens. I would get on the plane, be in another country on that Friday, stay Friday, stay Saturday, stay Sunday, even stay Monday, fly back on Monday because the times go back, and show up on Tuesday like nothing ever happened. I did that shit for 28 years. I made the mistake in letting out one time about what I do to someone, and the response was, because these were blue collar, you know, workers. The response was, you? They fly you? Because it's so far from their world, they didn't know. They couldn't relate. You know, they did the society thing. They don't know what the artist thing is. They did the society thing. So I don't blame them for that. It just educated me, keep your mouth shut. And that's what I did. In my day, if you want something, you have to go there and get it. Because I think sometimes things are too easy. Everybody wants the answers too quickly. But just give me the answer. If this person went so far as to do all the research and digging and getting these little gold nuggets and ideas, why would they all of a sudden just go, here? And that's not being mean or a generous thing, but you won't appreciate it. So it's one of those things where I think technology is supposed to help us, but at the same time, it hurts us. So we got to find a balance. There's ridiculous things. Kids are getting jobs just by their followers, how many followers they have. And even that turns out to be a lie because some of them buy followers. I just found out about that. And I'm like, that's crazy. They don't know you as a person. They don't know you so-and-so, but it's because, no, we're moving too fast. We don't need to do all of that. 20,000 followers. Okay, book the 20,000 followers. The one with the 20,000 followers, he could be crazy idiot. A dumb personality. But you got 20,000 followers, that makes it good enough? No. That's the reason why I keep telling kids, you are good enough. I don't care if you have 2 people. You're good enough. Is your whole life going to be judged on somebody else's opinion of you? So I think my job, at least now, is to make sure that these kids have self-worth, to know that they're good enough to do whatever they need to do and be comfortable in their skin. Because I know what it is not to be comfortable in your skin, where everybody else is telling you, oh, you're this, you're that, especially your relatives. Because my mom came from the West Indies and religion dictated her life, she had a certain, you know how the horses put the blinders on. She had a certain amount of blinders. She couldn't relate to a young person, meaning her children. She couldn't relate to them for the existence that they were living in. Maybe it's out of fear of not really knowing, because she never really went out anywhere. She stayed at home. So I, knowing that, and experiencing that, said to myself, I will never be the guy when I get older to be so out of touch with what's happening. That means what's happening now with the young people. So I made it an effort to make sure that my ear is to the ground. Because see, in my mom's time, information comes like this. From the top down. The older people, you know, school the younger people, and that's what we do. But that's not real life. Real life is information is reciprocal. I learned so much from young people, and I never wanted to be the guy that's the old fuddy-duddy in the room that, oh, I'm just gonna live in the past, and the past is the only thing I can do, and blah, blah, blah. No, that's the beginning of the end. You develop taste and knowing what to look for through your lifetime. That's how when the new stuff, look, I'm a 64-year-old man, but I don't dress like a 64-year-old man. Oh, no. And it's not like, oh, it's the old guy trying to be young, blah, 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 blah. No. Like how I was saying, it's a feeling. It's a vibe. If I want to feel this vibe, I'm going to dress the vibe. Back in those days, I was diesel. I was I had muscles on muscles. I used to wear my white tank top. No, it was a yellow tank top, white pants, metallic electric blue belt, peacock blue streak, and my shades, and white sneakers. And I'd walk the street. My mother was like, what's wrong with my son? What's wrong with my son? What's wrong with my son? That's why till today, I wear everything bright. Because when I was growing up, as I said before, my mother had me in pastel colors. Like, well, not pastel. She had me in grays and browns. And it was like, well, you know, blend in. But I was already 6'3". Yeah, 6'3" then. I'm 6'4" now, but 6'3" then. How am I gonna hide? It made no sense. See, that's the thing kids have to realize. Things that make sense, make sense. Things that don't make sense, stop trying to fit the round peg in the square hole. It doesn't work, you know? But you never know that. You just go on faith alone that, oh, well, they're telling you this and they're telling you that. So that's the evolution of listening to your own voice. I hope that answered the question, because basically what that's saying is that there's certain things that happen to your life that reinforce your opinion and your methodology, as opposed to the stuff that that was dictated to you to make you think that that's the way it is. Because, you know, revelations are sometimes painful, you know, like when COVID happened and everybody shut down, that was a time for retrospection, introspection, and reflection. And a lot of stuff was ugly, you know, that you come to face with. And you realize certain things, you go like, wow, really? Damn, I didn't really have time to think about that, but I got time to think about it now. Nah, I don't feel so good about that. And then you change. As an older man, I don't have biological children of my own, you know, but I have all of you, which is an amazing thing and a blessing, you know. And I definitely do feel, in that regard, a responsibility in sharing. and learning. Because, like I said, I've learned the fountain of youth. OG, to me, just means older guy. That's all it means. I was not no original gangster. I ain't shoot nobody. I ain't robbed nobody. Don't have a prison record. Don't have a jail record. None of that shit. I'm just an older guy. Done. I'm just like you. Spend time on the earth a little bit longer. That's all. If you keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If you keep it simple, you won't have issue. People like to have all this complication because they think complication distracts the masses from your real issue. Keep it simple. I think when money got involved, and trust me, ain't nobody getting rich over this, but when money got involved, it did something here to the people that get involved in it. That's why you always have to fight for your root, fight for your passion, fight for the thing that got you even tuned on to the thing that you love, whether it's film, whether it's music, whether it's dance. That initial thing is the root that got you lit to keep it going. You have to fight and preserve that for the rest of your life. For me, it was music. And music, as long as music's around, that's something, because I'll be in the middle of a conversation, no lie. If music is playing in the back and it's something, just like a dog, my ears go, and I'm either running to wherever it is, what's that? Or I might have Shazam. What is that track? Because that's the fuel. The fuel will give me everything else. And that's like everybody else. Whatever your passion is, that's the fuel. Everybody was young once, and they had that same other thing too. Come on. We're human. The human existence does not change, It's like my mother used to say this one sentence, used to crack me up. She said, Archie, there is nothing new under the sun. And I used to go, yeah, that's right. Nothing is new, but perceptions change. Okay, I'll take that. And the second thing she used to say is, Archie, your body is your temple. You keep it happy, you keep it healthy, and you keep it holy. And then I thought about that. I said, oh, I get it. Not necessarily the thing that her religion she's talking about, but the thing that you use to keep you grounded. Whether it's Buddha, whether it's this, whatever it is that warms your essence to keep you in your space, I'll take that, Ma. I'm gonna ride these wheels till they fall off. That's my future. The more I party, I'm gonna ride it till they fall off. I can't really. It's weird. I don't have. It sounds so funny. I don't have goals like that. I mean, KISS. The simplicity of me is the music. That's just it. All this other stuff is blessings and byproducts that came from that. So I really can't even answer that question. I just know that I just want to be present. That's it.
When I'm not dancing, I am
shaking that ass.
Favorite dish?
Chicken.
Most or one of most memorable events I attended or I worked at as a judge, etc.
Funkin' Cells.
Favorite outfit of yours?
All of them.
Okay, but if you had to choose one that you really like, one that you're like,
The one I wore last night, I like that one.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, long jacket or stylish hat?
Oh, stylish hat.
A complete outfit needs to have the following three.
Oh, I know about that. For man, it's the shoes. The shoes are everything. 2, the cut of the pants are everything. And the third one is the accessories have to be impeccable. Meaning the belt, or the jacket, or the ring, or necklace.
Best song to brighten the mood.
Baby Wants to Ride. Ooh. Jamie Principle, look it up. Frankie Knuckles Mates, Baby Wants to Ride.
Best song to play in the car.
Sexy Dancer.
Presence or musicality?
Presence. Oh yeah, presence.
Color that works for every occasion.
Well, I'm prejudiced on that because my favorite color is purple, so purple.
And last question. When is Archie writing a book?
You know, somebody asked me that the other day. I have to consider it. Well, you know what? I suck at writing. No, I'm good at it, but it takes a long time. So I'd rather record it. I'd rather somebody just record it. Just record memoirs and stuff. So that's in the works. I hope I do that before I die. But yeah, that's an idea. Yeah.